Well, Ross, are you as ready as you can be for round one? How's the preparation been?
Yeah, there's always a degree of uncertainty and then some anxiety around what's coming, but all you can do is prepare, focus on preparation, and we feel we've done that strongly, but as everyone would, I would think. So it's going to be a really stern test. They're a top four club from last year, and I think they finished in the top two on the ladder from memory. So it's a stern test and one we're excited about, and it's a home ground, and it's a really exciting start to the year. It's sort of you get off the treadmill of pre-season. So we feel we've worked hard, and it's going to be a good challenge.
Just looking at your pre-season, first game you were disappointed, then the boys bounced back after that. Is that, to you as a coach, was that a good sign that...
Yeah, it was really important, our first performance. We felt there were some mitigating circumstances, and we knew we were a lot better than that. So it's hard to draw a line on it, but I think we played quite well against Collingwood for fair periods of the game in really hot conditions, and then they went back and had a really good win against Richmond. So Carlton had been struggling, but they had rested some players and brought back in a strong team, and were quite dominant for periods, and then let them back in. So we feel like we've got reasonable availability. The obvious ones out that we think would typically play would be Alex Pearce, Bennell and Ballantyne. So outside of that, we've got good availability and plenty of minutes and pre-season program into our playing group. So yeah, there's no excuses for us.
Could it take a little bit of time to gel, Ross? You've had some changes with new personnel coming in, plus you get some of your big guns back that you didn't have last year. Is there a sort of a gelling together time, or do you think straight away you can put it together?
Yeah, well, the aim is to put it together straight away, but yeah, it's a work in progress, and it's not going to be perfect. But again, we've worked really hard. It's coming along, but under the fierce cauldron of an AFL game, there's nothing that can substitute for that. And I'm sure we'll learn some lessons and look to improve. So, but yeah, we're excited. All those guys will play. Those four will play. So yeah, it's exciting for us.
How big is the Sandilands factor, given he didn't play last year? His form was immaculate in pre-season, and there's no third man up rule.
Well, I think the third man up, I think every ruckman in the competition would like it, because when you've got blokes about your size barrelling into them, not that tall and can't jump that high, jumping into their kidneys and back, so they'll feel better about that. And Aaron's a very good player for us, as Nat is, but I mean, we don't really have franchise players. We're not a basketball court where one player can dominate. You need weight and numbers contribution. Aaron will play his role. Hopefully he'll give us first use, but they've got really competent ruckmen. And but we'll back Aaron and John in as a combination. I think that's really important, because if we can get Aaron forward a fair bit, he's a bit of a threat for us. So look, you want your best players available. We know that's an indicator of success in the AFL typically, and he's an important player. But one player can't do it. Nat can't do it. We want and need an equal contribution across the board.
What's the one thing you'd want to see this week, Ross? Is it intensity and getting back to that trademark that you had in 2015?
Well, there's no silver bullet. I think in my period here, the playing group's been able to give, win or lose, our supporters, and before they roll up, know that we're going to give really good effort and play with that intensity. And the Bulldogs set a benchmark for intensity last year, and it's certainly sustainable. Yeah, we want to come and compete. It's a competitive business, so yeah, we'd love to compete strongly.
You've had a really strong rivalry with Geelong over the years. It seems like the contests are always really close and quite exciting. Is there a reason for that? It's just you match up well?
Yeah, well, I think in that period of time, it was only brief. I mean, they were a great club for a long period of time, great team, and so we're a team on the rise, and they're a team with a new coach. And I think it's obvious when you get teams that are strong and they compete and no one gives up, you get close results. That's typical in the AFL, and both teams don't take a backward step typically. So more of the same. Sunday would be good.
Do you expect Fyfe and Dangerfield to go head-to-head at any stage?
Yeah, I think that's well documented. It's been covered. Both teams will probably have a contingency if one gets away, but they're both dominant midfielders, big, strong-bodied midfielders, slightly different in some ways, but we've got Mundy as well, and Josh Selwood's pretty handy, so if you just focus on one person, again, but yeah, I'd expect them to be matched up at certain periods of the game.
That famous clash, though, of that year when Walshy actually bought into it as well, that was quite unusual, wasn't it? That both coaches allowed you and him, allowed the players to go toe-to-toe?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Typically, midfielders go there, shake hands, and say goodbye. I think that happens on a weekly basis. For whatever reason, this has been espoused and become legendary. At the end of the day, it was two very good midfielders playing. I just think we're making a lot more of it than it was, but that's okay.
Who takes Hayden Valentine's place, Ross?
Yeah, we're still working through that. There was a really strong performance, Pure Thunder versus East Perth. We had a lot of good players. So, yeah, there's probably 5, 6 or 7. It all depends which way we structure up. So we're still working through that, and we've got a couple of sessions to get there. That's going to be a difficult decision, and one I haven't got an answer for at the minute.
Is it like for like, or do you shuffle a bit and maybe bring someone in somewhere else, or is that what you're weighing up?
Yeah, I think they're the two options, Do you shift someone like a Lockie Weller forward and bring in a back, or is it a specialist small forward? They're the options, but as I said, we're still working through it.
So it's Sheridan, Crozier, Ed Langdon, Lockie Weller, they're the sort of options? Or Harley Ballock, is he any chance to play?
Yeah, they're all a chance. Yeah, we've just got to work through it. Yeah, I think it's unfair to narrow it down. Because if you narrow it down, I'll walk out the track and Harley Ballock's mum rings him up and says, "I know you're playing," or "You're not playing." I think that's the consideration we've got to balance up,
Ross, how much of a read have you
which
been
I'm doing now.
Sorry. How much of a read have you been able to get on Geelong through the pre-season?
Yeah, look, you look at them, and we've been concerned with ourselves as they would have been, but flew into Bendigo, post the Carlton game the next day, and drove up to Bendigo and had a good look at them. Every team's got an opposition scout that you track them through, and your first few opponents, and then there's plenty of vision to watch. So there's not too many surprises AFL games. It's often but you've got to be good enough to stop it. I think we all know Dangerfield and Selwood are going to be explosive around the stoppages. We've got to be good enough. Tui's going to run and create, and Hawkins is there, and Taylor's going forward. They're all obvious things, but just because you can point them out doesn't mean you can stop them.
Ross, you've got a really good record as a round one coach. How much have you found in your time that it sets the tone for the whole year, that first performance?
Look, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I wasn't a very good round one coach last year. So they just highlighted past performances don't count. That's what you do from here, and action's the only thing that counts, and consistent action. So, but I had a coach, David Parkin was a great coach, multiple premiership coach, and he always used to espouse how important it was to get a win early on the board, and confidence comes from action, that, what we're trying to do is the right thing. So it certainly doesn't hurt, and everyone would love that, breathe that sigh of relief, get your first one and get off the mark.
How much confidence did Cam McCarthy get out of that performance a couple of weeks ago, and how much confidence does the team have in him now as a footballer after a year out of the game?
Yeah, just to clarify, confidence built by action. So the initial piece is he did all the hard work over summer. He didn't miss the session, and on all the metrics that get thrown at him these days, he was high consistently. So then that gave him his best opportunity to perform well, and he's coming to hand. He got a few over the back, but he also won some one-on-ones. He displayed a good skill level, and it certainly would make him feel good about himself and us. But I love Cam's article on the weekend. I'm no one's saviour. I'm here to play my role. I'm not going to do that every week. So, but yeah, it certainly builds belief about he's got capabilities to grow. He's only a young man. I mean, he's played a handful of AFL games really, and he's only 21. So there's plenty of growth in him.
Are you aiming at, say, round 3 for Harley Bennell? Would that be about the time that he might start playing footy, maybe at Peel?
Yeah, not. It's been a moving feast really. The condition has come in on a weekly basis, but we'll certainly keep you informed as that progresses. He's still in rehab and he's building to training, but there's some really good signs. He's doing high-end speed work, and it's starting to get to that exciting stage. He's held himself together really well and training really hard. So I think there's a few numbers being put on. I think that's the danger, because it just shifts around. So, I'm not going to put a number on it, but we'll keep you informed. We certainly haven't hidden the fact. And it'll be obvious when he's training with the group because everyone will see it. And then once he's doing that, there'll be a few week build before he plays a Peel.